Yarn. Dragon's Dogma 2 dev takes death seriously, so you'll have to protect your favorite NPCs if you don't want them dead forever. It's almost the entire reason why we made the game open world. There will be many events that occur that don't occur depending on affinity, and relationships between NPCs will also be important. Basically, it sounds like you won't see everything in your first playthrough. On the topic of getting closer to NPCs, the director goes on to explain that the premise since the beginning has been to create a fantasy world simulator, and that part of this is having NPCs die as a regular occurrence. If there's an NPC you can care for in the town, you will need to protect them as you fight or hold on and run. The director warns players following from this, reassures fans that wake stones also exist in Dragon's Dogma 2, so even if an NPC dies, not all is lost. Yeah, when I played the game, they had wake stones. Basically, like, if you got dropped, you had three respawns before it was like game over. I wish I would have asked them though, how does that work? Do you have to purchase wake stones, or are you just giving them to them? Bro, what's crazy is why would Second Son even possibly get a remake? It still looks good and plays good. Yeah, just make it run on the damn PS5, like backwards compatibility. I feel like that's why they're not putting backwards compatibility, because they just want people to buy these remakes. Want to be heartless in this game. You probably find them in the first game. I don't remember much about the first game. And then also Dragon's Dogma 2 is heavily inspired by GTA 5. In a recent interview with Games Radar, Dragon's Dogma director was asked about the personal inspiration he drew upon when developing the highly anticipated RPG sequel. And according to him, Rockstar's popular open world sim GTA 5 was a big inspiration. GTA 5 was quite a big inspiration for me on the level of how it manages to combine multiple emergent gameplay systems into a satisfying experience that feels free to the player in terms of their freedom and what they can choose to do. The director elaborated further, pointing out that GTA 5 features a lot of flexibility in how it lets players engage with various in-game events and actions. One example Itsuno provided is how you can be doing something like outrunning the police or robbing a bank, and how that can spiral out of control and overlap with other events and eras in the surrounding world. That's pretty cool. That's a bold claim. The game manages that. It doesn't crash. It doesn't kick you out of one thing and put you in the other. It just lets it all mash together in a way that, of course, sometimes gets chaotic, but also feels like it's intentional. Sounds like he's trying to craft a real immersive world as we can get it, really. According to Suno, he was impressed by the sort of intentionality in the emergent gameplay and open world design when GTA 5 launched. Huh. Interesting. Really wish that Sony would give us another Infamous. They deadass have the video game version of the X-Men. They choose to do nothing with it. Did it sell well? I wonder if that's the case. Suicide Squad is already 45% off on the PlayStation Store. I said it yesterday. I'm calling it. They're probably going to shut that game down within a year. It's the new. I think it's better than the Avengers, but it's the new Avengers, if you get what I'm doing. Like that game just never had a chance to succeed. I wish I was able to like hop into another dimension to like Earth 2. And see, is there a universe where it actually was able to succeed just because a hit piece wasn't done on it? That game got taken down by the media and like YouTubers. It never stood a chance. In 2 months, it'll be free on PlayStation Plus. Check VG charts for VG charts. Let's see. What was it? Infamous Second Son? Yeah, I don't know what was Infamous a good selling game? Let's look. Infamous Second Son. According to VG charts, how do we see the sales? It moved a total of 3 million units. That's probably why we don't have a sequel. 3 million units is not that good for a game that's been out since how long? Like 2014? Because it was a launch title, wasn't it? It just didn't sell well. Yeah, that's probably why. Then they're probably looking at those sales. But then it's one of those things. This is why they say men lie, women lie, numbers don't. I can make the argument sometimes numbers do lie. Context does matter. Because, like, yeah, 3 million units is not good. But then also you have to take into consideration this came out in 2014. This is when social media just started to really pop off. I mean, this is when Vine was still a thing, right? That's why I make the argument that the NBA Street games need to come back. All the Street games need to come back because they didn't sell well either. Let's see. Gaming wasn't as big as it wasn't as big as it is now. So like that was just like the hardcore buying the shit. Who's to say that it wouldn't? Let's see, Volume 2, which is everybody's favorite. But let's see, sales. Currently sales is okay. When I checked, oh, there it is right there. Whoops, it's on the side. So North America 1.69 total NBA. So put this in perspective. NBA Street Volume 2 sold 1.9 million. It didn't even sell 2 million units. Tekken 2 sold 2 million units in its first month. But context matters. This is a different era of gaming. There wasn't as many gamers. So 2 million was still pretty decent back then. But today, if you look at those numbers, people will be like, oh, it only sold 2 million units. That's not worth playing. This is what I be trying to tell y'all. Just because you love the game doesn't mean everybody did. A lot of people did not play this game. Yeah, it's a cult classic. There's a difference. There's a difference between a classic and a cult classic. They might be the same in terms of quality, but not in the terms. I feel like a classic is more mainstream. A cult classic it has a niche following. And I think these type of games have a niche following. Same thing with, I wonder with, let's see, Def Jam. Def Jam. Let's see, let's go. Fight for New York. That was the most popular one. PlayStation 2. Same thing. In North America, it didn't even sell 1 million units. It sold 0.86, so 800,000. 600,000. Other countries, like 200,000. Total 1.76. It didn't even sell 2 million. Sold 1.7 million units. Fake ass fans? No, context matters. You can't say fake. Context matters. This is a different era of gaming. Social media didn't exist. This was a new concept with rappers and like wrestling and stuff like that. If you really sit back and think about it, yeah, like I can see, because I mean, like I've heard people say they watch, I think, what was it? Maximilian played it recently, and like I heard somebody said in the chat he had some very interesting takes. Like, niggas love this shit, bro. But there's a lot of people that never played this game and they think it's weird. I watched a YouTube video where like he was doing a retrospective on it, and he was just like, yeah, it's really weird to see this wrestling and fighting and shit like that. Some people, I didn't say Max didn't like it, but somebody had said in the comment he had some interesting takes on it, like just being surprised by it, basically. A lot of people might have dismissed it at the time, but then they go back and play it now, and they're like, wait, this game's fun. This is a game where like, and I would take a remake, just put online on it, man. Add online. Just check The Last of Us Remastered sold 20 million. To put things in perspective, and that's a new game. I wonder how much it cost to make back then. I'd argue most of the money in the development cost for this was probably licensing the rappers. Probably doing a licensing deal with Def Jam. That was probably the biggest fee. Don't they still have tournaments for Def Jam Fight for New York? I don't know. What about True Crime? True Crime. Well, which one was the more popular one? I know there was a LA one and a New York one. True Crime, New York. There are. I want to see Elden Ring's numbers. It didn't even sell 1 million units total. 0.6 million units. It sold 700,000 units. Not a popular game. These games are not, like I said, like I feel like with gamers, people get their feelings and their emotion attached to something that they love so much. And I can't stress enough, these sales numbers doesn't mean it's a bad game. But I think what happens a lot, and you see how like when gamers talk to each other online and they debate things, people get their emotions attached to stuff so much. They think because they love something so much, everybody does. It's not the case. The numbers don't lie. You said, check out Burnout. Man, go on VG charts by yourself, bro. Look, I'm not gonna look up every goddamn game. I said this before. Every time I tell niggas about emulators, the first thing they say is, can I play Def Jam? So true. That means with Kung Fu Chaos, Joe Budden and others. Pump it up. 50 Cent Bulletproof was a wild game. Wild times, man. Wild times. Niggas got to recommend it. So, hey, if you like something, I can't stress enough, man. I feel like, here's another thing too, man. The strongest emotion is fucking anger, hatred. It's easy to talk about what you dislike. Talk about what you like. If you like something, tell people, man. Word of mouth. Helldivers proved that word of mouth still works. That's why the developers default to Killmonger hairstyles today. Can't bank on the black lead. Yeah, y'all niggas ain't buying games as much as y'all say y'all do. What else news? I think I got this. Sounds like PlayStation 5 Stellar Blade will be playing dress up long after launch. Oh shit, new bikinis. We interviewed the Korean developer Shift Up recently and emphasized the point that Stellar Blade's selection of 30 costumes would all be included in-game at launch with no microtransactions or additional purchases necessary. However, speaking with Game Informer, the director hinted that more outfits could be added post-release. He didn't elaborate on the developer's plans, so it's unclear whether these will be free or premium, but we're generally okay with the cosmetics after the launch. Blah, 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 blah. Who's excited? 30 plus bikinis. Yo, shout out to Nightmare Eclipse with the sub. Appreciate it. What is this shit? Ronan, what is this? You gonna get banned? The Last of Us director says Naughty Dog's next game is really ambitious and will be really hard to make. Yeah, all right, bro. I'm gonna start this shit. In an interview with Logically Speaking, Neil Druckmann describes the project as really ambitious. You remember when you remember when The Last of Us the multiplayer was really ambitious? Remember that? It was supposed to be a multiplayer experience based off of the original multiplayer in The Last of Us, and it had a original story with original characters weaved in. What happened in that game? Anyways, Stellar BBL, Stellar Yams. But says the aspects of its creation are really hard on him and the team. I've really surrendered to knowing it's going to be really hard and knowing it's going to stress members of the team out. He says, adding that he strives for ways to make it a joyous experience for him and everyone else. As Druckmann then explains, much of his happiness comes from guiding the team and listening to their ideas and visions of the game. He says he's particularly proud of the contributions from The Last of Us 2 co-game director. He recently did something on this new... I don't care about none of that shit. I feel like this is all smoke and mirrors to fucking hype up the Sony ponies, the niggas that just worship their plastic. So when the game comes out, if it's a dud or if it's just like mid, the Sony, it'll rally the Sony audience. You guys need to be nice. Neil Druckmann said in the article he worked really hard and it was really hard on the team, so we need to... Like, bro, nobody said fuck Neil Druckmann. Nobody said that. Nobody said fuck the dev team. We just said the game was mid. Don't say that. Don't say that. This is just I feel like these quotes are just to rally the troops, bro. Just like that fucking dumbass documentary they dropped for the. Did anybody watch that? I feel like nobody talked about that shit. That Last of Us documentary that nobody asked for. Stuff like that is to rally the troops. This will really get them behind us. Send a message like, no, like I don't want to. Why the fuck would I want to watch a 1-hour documentary about why revenge is bad? It's more than that. It's more than that. Ellie was a lesbian. Like, okay, she was in the first game too. Like, that wasn't a new feature. Like, what are you talking about? Oh shit. Let me stop. Oh my god. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like I feel like Naughty Dog is just like slowly became like a non-factor for me. Not a non, like we'll keep our eye on it when they announce the game, but like you really live long enough to become the villain. Like I'm starting to not like them, bro. Sounds like I joined in a good conversation. I just starting to not like them, man. Stop making this shit. Whatever their next game is, I'll say this much, jokes aside. Whatever game they next are making, I pray that it's not a photorealistic Hollywood Oscar bait-ass game. And what I'm talking about is please do not make something in alignment with Uncharted or The Last of Us. Make something fun, unique, something that's creative, that's gonna push the envelope and push the industry forward. That's what I knew Naughty Dog for, okay? A little more and a little less revenge is bad, okay? Naughty Dog or Bethesda. I've never been a big Bethesda fan, so like I don't have like an emotional connection to them. I never liked them niggas like that. Like I like Naughty Dog is like I look at not Naughty Dog. I look at Bethesda like certain rappers. You know, like certain rappers where you wouldn't call yourself a fan, but you like songs of them. Like Gucci Mane is an example, right? I would never call myself a Gucci Mane fan, but there's Gucci Mane songs that I like. That's the way I look at Bethesda. Like, yeah, I like Fallout 3 and 4, but I wouldn't call myself a Bethesda fan. It's World War Bethesda over here. It'll never stop. It'll never fucking stop. Bethesda's the Gucci Man of gaming. I didn't say all that, but whatever. That's the perfect way to put it. But like Naughty Dog has had like several games that I liked, so then I can, and that's why they piss me off. I can call myself a Naughty Dog fan. You see what I'm saying? Genuine question: do you think that most of these issues stem from people holding devs to standards of games in the PS2 era? What does that even mean? Like the standards of the PS2 era? No, I'm not looking for games. I can't speak for everybody else. I'm not personally looking for games that resemble the PS2 era. That shit was great. But I also believe in leaving the past in the past. Because if you don't, you'll end up getting stuck. That applies to anything in life. Pick that gym up if you want to. Is more so, I'm just looking for new experiences, man. Like I said, like I put a tweet out and I was like, yo, my favorite thing about a new console generation is you knew that it meant new adventures, new characters, new trilogies. I love the concept of a trilogy. 1, 2, 3, nigga, we're done. And a lot of times these studios would drop like multiple trilogies. Like these AAA studios, they would usually drop like 2 trilogies per console generation, which meant 2 new worlds we got to explore. Nigga, we're still talking about Kratos. We're still talking about Joel and Ellie. We're still talking about this nigga Marcus Phoenix is 80 years old. He's 80 years old. We gotta go get the Locust Queen again. God damn, nigga, take a nap. We're still driving Forza cars. Still, Master Chief lost his virginity. Oh my God, what they did to Halo. Oh my God. Y'all watching that dumbass show? This nigga half naked and shit. Master Chief the Virgin. They just ruined that franchise, man. Let the shit go. The problem with when you extend franchises out is it leaves, like, an example is like, I'd say Assassin's Creed might be top 5 in terms of series. Not like the individual games, but series. Like Assassin's Creed might be top 5, my favorite series, right? The issue with it is they extended the universe so much. They lived long enough to become a villain. We've reached a point with Assassin's Creed where there's just as many bad games as there are good games. 5 years ago, you couldn't have said that. 10 years ago, for damn sure. The fact that you can say 10 years is a problem. But like the fact that I can say the batting average, there's just as many bad games as there are good games, that's a fucking problem. Because then it kind of low-key, it ruins, you're bringing the average down, right? Like, have y'all, it's almost like, any of y'all went to school, whether it was middle or high school, any of y'all ever been in a class where the teacher graded on a curve? That's when the teacher grades based off of like the average of the entire class. And there's them 2 dumbasses in the back of the room. Everybody scores an A and a B. And them 2 dumbasses in the back of the class that come with the book bag got nothing but don't even got a pencil, a piece of paper. Nigga, what's in your book bag? Earphones, that's it. Them niggas get Fs and ruin the grade for everybody else. That's what it's like, bro. There's so many bad games now. It's bringing the average down. And then it changes your perspective of the franchise. Now we're not talking about, oh man, I love Assassin's Creed. Now we're talking about, man, I hope Assassin's Creed Japan is good. That's why I will keep reiterating that phrase. You live long enough to become a villain. It really is a thing. It really is a thing. Fuck that shit. I gotta pee. I gotta fucking pee, and then we're gonna hop into the sub box. I'll be right back. I'm coming off my soapbox. I'm done yapping. Ubisoft the real Templars. BRB. My friend. want to go? Oh, all right. Thought you wanted to go. You need a hug? Oh, so somebody needs a hug. Okay. Okay. People, let me tell you about my best friend. He's the one you can depend on till the very end. He's my best friend. You're okay. You're okay. Don't mind it if I do. I could use one. You can't see Aki with the hands. He do like to fight. But I would never play fight on stream because you know there'd be somebody in the chat. Look at him abusing his dog. You know what demographic. It's funny because this nigga likes to play fight. Look, I would never do that with my dog. It's not your dog, bitch. The fuck is you talking about? Do you brush your dog's teeth? Yeah, I do. Boop, 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 boop. You're supposed to, or motherfucker's teeth gonna rot. I had a conversation the other day that Ubisoft and EA could have been top 5 back in the day, but the decisions they did. Yeah. Twitch streamer cosplays Mike's Vic. He said, if you know, you know. All right, let me see. Let's go into the sub box. Let's see what's going on. I feel like I had another thought about that Ubisoft shit, and I forgot what I was about to say. What was it? I felt like it was good too. I don't know. Let's move on. Into the sub box we go. Looks like we got some. Oh, that was from yesterday. We saw that shit. Wow. Why am I not surprised someone like him's playing with his dog like that? What is this, Ronan? Don't get banned from posting links. Parasite, The Gray. The unidentified parasites violently take over human hosting game. Is this a horror movie? Very good. Not gonna lie, that looks a little 1998 Blade. Which, you know, for Blade, I'll let it pass because that was the time and it looked good. But it looks like, first and foremost, like it's really become a trend. It was a joke at first, but it's really become a trend. Like Hollywood said, new IPs, research and development, hiring new creative writers and giving people a chance that haven't had instead of using the old guard. Like Hollywood really has become, instead of new original ideas, let's just ruin everybody's childhood memory. Let's make live action Disney movies, live action anime, live action video games. I mean, think about what we got: Parasite, Borderland, Avatar. I feel like I'm forgetting some more. Like, One Piece. Just ruining it. Cowboy Bebop, Death Note, just ruining everything. Now my question, because I don't have an affinity towards Parasite, I don't know much about it. Oh, Halo, yeah, we just talked about that. How does this look to y'all? Does this look like a good live action adaptation? Yeah, Rurouni Kenshin, Dragon Ball. Oh my god. Does this look like a good adaptation? Like the show looks okay, but like I don't really feel compelled to watch it. As a fan, I'm a skip. Oh yeah, Yu Yu Hakusho, they just did that shit. They're just ruining everything, man. I don't even. You know what's crazy too? This is such a lazy approach to content creation, just adapting stuff that's already popular. There's such a high probability it'll fail because people love these franchises, so they're absolutely going to compare it to the original. And then you spent all this. Oh yeah, they're doing Naruto next. They're about to ruin my show. They're spending all this money on this stuff to get a bad kickback. I don't know, man. Live action is made to appeal to the casuals, though. This is true, but the hardcore will always dictate what people watch and what people play. The hardcore will always dictate. Like when that Naruto live action comes out, if hardcore anime and Naruto fans say that shit is butt, casuals are not watching it. Because the casuals are gonna look at what the hardcore have to say and say, well, if the fans don't like it, why would I want to watch that shit? I mean, a prime example would be Suicide Squad. Hardcore DC fans said, we don't like this shit. You killed Batman. Batman was there for me when, you know, I was going through a lot. Hundreds of millions of videos were made. And look at it now. How many people are playing right now? Steam charts. Suicide Squad. Let's see. In the last 24 hours, 400 people have played. 6 minutes ago, there were 400 people on. Hardcore fans did that. So when you say, "Oh, it's supposed to appeal to casual fans don't dictate nothing." Let's not forget the reason the MCU is popular in the first place is the hardcore. Iron Man was not a household name. The hardcore fans went to go see that shit. They said this wasn't bad. Then the casuals showed up. And then, they started to make more movies, more bangers, and more people started to show up. But it's always the hardcore that will dictate the pace of everything. And that applies in every art form. Like, snobs are needed to it. Like, elitism can be annoying to a degree, but creative snobs are needed to some degree. You got to gatekeep the bullshit. Get it the fuck up out of here. The thing with the Naruto is the jutsus. They're going to use so much. Yeah, that's why it's going to look. That's why you got to let some things be. They got to let some things be what they are. Like Naruto, I just don't see it looking good. It's too much magic shit going on. All them damn jutsus, the costumes. The costumes are probably going to look cheesy in real life. That was one of the biggest complaints I've seen a lot of people on Reddit say about the Avatar show was the costumes. They all look like they're cosplaying. And like to that, I say, well, how do you make it look realistic? Because the thing about and what I loved about the show is despite it was so much dark shit going on, it was a very vibrant show. So the costumes, I would argue they're accurate to the show because they were trying to replicate the vibrancy of the show. The problem is it doesn't look good in real life because in real life, most people don't wear vibrant colors. Most people usually wear toned down colors. So it looks weird. That's why some things don't translate into live action coming from a cartoon. And we should just let it be what the fuck it is. Let's see what else is going on in the sub box. Sandland motorcycle gameplay. I don't really care. Delta Force Ops official Havoc gameplay trailer. Let's see. Let's see what's going on here. For Honor. Who the fuck is playing For Honor? Rivian's R2 3 in launch event. And oh, they got new whips. Hold up. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of want a Rivian truck. Itachi and Sasuke acting is gonna be hilarious. I mean, think about it, right? Yo, episode. The Naruto show is gonna be ass, and let me tell you why. Remember, the show opens up with them telling the story of like the nine-tailed fox tearing up the village. Are they gonna do a flashback with Minato sealing the wolf into him, or the fox? I mean, into Naruto. Like, how are they gonna do all that shit? How are they gonna do all that shit? That's just gonna look awful, like in fucking CG, bro. I'll be honest, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it, bro. New JG video in the sub box, new Siggy video in the sub box. And that's episode 1. By the end of what episode 1 or 2 was it? Didn't he fight that one dude that tried to steal the Shadow Clone scrolls or whatever? How are they gonna animate that big ass knife that dude was throwing and they were in the forest and shit? Like, come on, I don't know, man. And that's just episode 1. Imagine them trying to animate the fourth Great Ninja War. Imagine them trying to animate flashbacks of the legendary Sony when they was fighting Hanzo with the Salamander in the third Great Ninja War. There's so much cool shit that happens in that show. I just don't see it translating in real life. Let it go. Let it the fuck go. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm like that with Avatar, where like I'm not gonna lie, I was being a little elitist while watching that show, like just nitpicking it the fuck apart. The tuning exams, that big ass forest, and them fighting on the trees and shit like that. Haku, fucking locking Sasuke in that goddamn ice dome and the mirrors and shit. Like, how are they gonna animate that shit? Imagine them trying to animate Naruto and Sasuke's final fight. I don't know, man. I don't know. We just gotta put our thinking caps on. It's a. Do they have the budget for it? I don't know about that. South Park Snow Day, the first preview. Okay, we got a preview of the South Park show. Spider-Man 2 Game of the Year trailer. Whose Game of the Year was this? Do you really want to watch Sasuke versus Sasori? Nah. Helldivers 2 official war bond. And then you got 700 episodes. How are you going to condense that? How are you going to condense that 700 episodes down and keep it within the budget? Star Wars Battlefront Classic Collection official launch. When does it come out? It's already out. Which streaming service is Naruto going to? I don't know. I just saw that they're working on one. Solar Raiders official reveal trailer. MacBook M3 MacBook Air review, a better upgrade. I think this is off from yesterday. Wait, Lost Islands. What's this? I said the same thing. Like, bro, you did not win the Sony Awards. Didn't count. Let me see. Naruto live action. Lionsgate is developing a live action adaptation of the manga and anime series. As of February 2024, Destin Daniel Cretton, who co-wrote the 2021 Marvel Shang-Chi and The Legend of the Ten Rings, is writing and directing the movie. Oh, it's a movie or a show? Oh, I stand correct. Wait. That's even worse. A movie, nigga. What? At least with a show, you can let it breathe through episodes. A movie. How are they gonna condense 700 episodes into a movie? Get this shit the fuck out of here. Yeah, we're cooked. I don't know about this shit, man. It's just ruining our childhood. Yeah, all that 90 minutes. I'm good off this. Ladies and gentlemen, I fear we will be getting another Dragon Ball Evolution. That shit about to be 5 hours. We're getting another Dragon Ball. I don't think that's long enough to tell the story. Oh my God. I don't even want to look at this shit anymore. Lionsgate is responsible for the Warcraft movie, right? I don't know. I don't mean this will be good. Lionsgate is responsible for a lot of good movies. They're also responsible for a lot of duds. You just can't tell. Delta Force Hawk Ops official Havoc Warfare trailer. It's a free-to-play multiplayer tactical shooter developed by... Get a look at the new trailer of the Havoc Warfare, the large-scale PvP mode for Delta Force. Okay, it's large-scale PvP. Who's ready for Delta Force? New shooter! Where's X Defiant? Another war sim, woo! I can't tell why I should care. Like, this doesn't look bad, but I can't tell why I should care. Like, what's different? Okay, they got tanks. Battlefield type beat. Now I can tell my kids I fought in Iraq. Yeah, all right. Yeah. Kids storm the beaches with Paw. Storm the beaches. It's Call of Duty, nah. Is this a PvPvE mode? It looks like he's shooting at bots, man. Doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look innovative either. I mean, the good thing is it's free to play. Wait a goddamn minute. It says it's coming soon to PS5, Xbox, iOS, Android, and PC. This is coming to iOS and Android? What the fuck? I want to see what the mobile version look like. Man, all these war games, niggas been to war more than I have.